Hey guys, happy Friday. Sorry I'm missing you. I'm at the county office participating in a panel to judge the county's applicants for the Maryland PAGE program. But I will be back with you on Monday, no worries. So our last topic when looking at the legislative branch is going to be on reforming Congress. I'm not going to give you a lot today directly. Instead, I want you guys to take a little bit of time to read and a little bit of time to reflect, to kind of really think about what are some changes or adjustments that we could make to Congress to make it more efficient, to make it more accountable to the people, to make it do more of what we think it should do, since we do have a representative democracy, right? So with that, what you guys are going to spend the first chunk of class doing, you're going to look at this text. I'm not going to have you go get it right now, but they are all on the back counter, so you should see them back there. And when I'm done explaining, everybody can go grab one. Right, so what you're going to do, this text itself goes over all kinds of different suggested reforms to the Constitution. We are going to explicitly, again, focus on the legislative branch. So I want everybody, once you get the book, to read pages 19 to 23. Okay, so just read it 19 to 23. If you want to sketch down a few notes in your notebook, that's perfectly fine. Okay, then what I'm going to have you do in tables is you're going to break up what sections that you're going to read. So table 1, which is where Reagan is going to read pages 23 to 32. Table 2, which is Izzy's group, is going to do 32 to 40. Table 3, which is Zoe's group, is going to read 41 to 53. Table 4 is going to do, which table 4 is with Maddie, sorry, is going to read 54 to 68. And then table 6, which is where Hannah and Riley typically sit, I think Sky and Max as well. You guys are going to read pages 69 to 75. Okay, so what I would like you to do while you're reading your assigned section is I want you to read it, and I want you to get one powerful takeaway or quote, right? So when you are reading something, I want you to write down whatever thing stands out the most to you, most interesting, most surprising. Each individual person is going to do that. Okay, then when you're done, I'm going to have each person share what their quote is that they found to be most important, okay, or their biggest takeaway. If we have time left at the end of class, then you can restart the video. I've got a little bit of chunk, just some extra stuff to think about, but it's nothing in addition to what you are looking at now, all right? So someone set a timer for 20 minutes, right? And in 20 minutes, you guys are going to stop reading. And then table 1, whoever is there is going to share, each one of them is going to share their takeaways. And then you'll move all the way through table 6 with each person hopefully getting the opportunity to share a takeaway about some possible reforms or suggestions to Congress based on the section of the text that you read. All right. So with that, go ahead and pause the video. And if you do finish before class is over, then you can go ahead and restart the video. If you are listening to this, it is because you finished your discussion and you are ready for the next little bit of information. Okay, right, so you should have shared your major quotes, major takeaways. Right, with that, just a couple of things that I kind of want to throw out there that were discussed. But I wanted to highlight, right, some of the big things that we've seen about congressional reform. And again, I'm not asking you to share your opinion, but I'd like you to at least think about what your opinion is, right, on whether or not we should institute term limits, right? So the benefit of this is that we have more change and more accountability of our legislative officials, but at the same time, if the citizens legitimately want to continue to elect someone, are we limiting their rights if we institute a term limit, right? So we can see both perspectives. Lots of questions about congressional districting and how this is done. And what, if anything, or how should we address the issue with partisan gerrymandering and the impact that that has on the voice of the American people, as well as a discussion of, do we think that if we had proportional representation rather than a single member district, that would allow for a greater voice? Research does indicate that proportional systems do typically align with multi-party systems rather than two-party systems, so that is something that you can think about there. right? Couple other things. We've talked about this before. Campaign finance reform. Again, this is a really, really tricky one, right? Because obviously we don't want money to buy our congressional elections, but at the same time, we do want to ensure that our citizens are having their right to the First Amendment, free speech. So again, I can't tell you what the answer is. It's just things I want you to think about. What do you think might be some legitimate suggestions that could improve the system that we have today? The last one that I have up here just has to do with like some of the power and the perks that members of Congress have, right? For example, they've got the franking privilege. They can mail anything to their constituencies for free while they're in office, which includes campaign mailing. So that's an important thing to note there. There's also this term called pork, and pork is when members of Congress are allowed to like embed these little teeny tiny like budget plans to provide financial benefit or monetary benefit to just their home district. It makes them look really good, but then we are taking a pool of money that is meant for the nation, and we are spending it in a very, very small, narrow scope of the American population. All right, guys, that is all I have for you. I hope you have a phenomenal weekend. And I will be in at lunch today if you need to swing by and chit-chat with me. Have a good one.